It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this week I'm going back to the world of spies, espionage, a great game. Going back there. But first, a couple things. I want to give a big shout out to LA, Los Angeles. Got some plays over in Los Angeles, LA. Appreciate it, thank you very much. Got this gratitude, Total Baba. In LA, I've always wanted to go visit your land. Looks very beautiful. It's the home of Hollywood, all the famous people, right? Be very cool to go walk that space and hang out, chill, and see the sights and food. So thanks for listening. Got this gratitude. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by the song called Spooky Time. Now, Spooky Time is a Halloween song by the newest addition to the EIF family, the Girl Ghost and Skeleton J. Yes, the Girl Ghost and Skeleton J have dropped a seasonal track called Spooky Time. It's about Halloween lyrics. Will the spooky type be? Guaranteed you never heard anything like it in your life before. And that's not all. It's also brought to you by the Spooky Time Garden Flag. See a little landscaping garden or some kind of space in your domain, your house, wherever you're at. You kind of showcase interesting things, little landscaping, some of us do that. We got a flag for Halloween that says Spooky Time with Dia de Muertos graphics, Halloween themed graphics. So if you want a flag for your landscaping, we got that Spooky Time flag over at the Existing Fiction 4th Wall store. And we also have the song Spooky Time, so check it out, put the links below. Now, let's go to the podcast. So ladies and gentlemen, before I get into Slow Horses this week, I want to go ahead and revisit a theory from long ago. Now, if you've seen the social media, I've talked about it already. If you've been with this podcast for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and refresh your memory. I've been going down the rabbit hole of spy media, TV shows, movies for a long time. Long time. As I watch these shows, I began to theorize what the favorite potato chip of the spy guy would be. So to watch these shows, a chip kept showing up, and that chip is the Pringles chip. The Pringles, the ones in the can, would show up all the time when I was watching shows. They were showing up. I watched so many shows, I was always eating Pringles. I was like, this must be the secret covert chip, the chip of the spies. Now I'm in 2025, this month, as I watched last week's episode of Slow Horses. Jackson Lamb was eating chips. They were not Pringles, but guess what? They were in a tube, they were in a canister. So the new revised theory of the secret covert chip, the 2025 thought process on that is basically the spy chip is not a brand of chips, but a style of chips. I now believe in 2025 that the choice of chip for the secret covert spy is not a brand of chip, but it's the type of chip, a canister chip. It's a chip that's in a canister, a tube. That is now the spy chip, the covert secret spy chip, the tube chip, the canister chip. And everything I said about the Pringle chip applies because it's the tube itself that's very useful. So if you find yourself in a sticky bind, you might be able to use that, get out of a sticky situation, like I said before, but it's not brand exclusive. It's the type and style of container of the chip. So I think that is where we're at now. It's not the brand no more. It is the style of the chip. Because now, you know what? Everybody makes those chips. For a long time, we just had brand. Now we go to the grocery store, there's a bunch of people with canister chips. But to be fair, Pringles was doing it first. So anyways, I now do believe an updated version of the spy theory is that it's about the canister of the chip. That is a secret covert spy chip. So anyways, now that I've updated you on that, let's get into Slow Horses. Now this week, after the aftermath of last week, it was just the wildest, craziest thing that could happen. Like in the end, spoiler, one of the political candidates that they were trying to protect ended up dying. But wasn't dying because of assassination or got murdered or none of that. They got murked. No, it's an accident. He accidentally died from a can of paint hit him on the head. Like, what happened was like one of those, like the game Mousetrap. It was just unbelievable. So that happened last week, and we're kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. And also in the show too, like, you know, they got the woman, the lady, the honeypot, they're interrogating her, and she dupes everybody, pulls a fast one in this episode as well. You know, so it's a lot of like wilderness of mirrors, mass illusions, not sure who's what's what. So this show is absolutely fantastic. But what I want to do is dig a little deeper what I just talked about, the pink thing, right? So sometimes when you're reading the internet and you read stories, right? Okay, now real quick, sometimes people think the stories on the internet or in news in general can be off or not quite right, or, you know, a little bit of sensationalism or a little bit of, you know, creative liberties or whatever. Okay. Now, this particular scene, I know it's fictional, but in the world they live in, like, this actually happened. This was the thing that happened. The paint can randomly hit this dude in the head, and he died. Now, because the guy is such a high-profile, you know, person in the show, in that world, I'm sure there'd be tons of YouTubers and conspiracy thinkers. Oh, that's not what happened. It's all cover up, whatever, right? But in this particular scenario, that's what actually happened. It was legit. It was a legit accident. But the people that are in the know would think, well, there must be something crazy going on. So where I'm going with this is that, okay, are there conspiracies that happen out there? Are there hidden facts and hidden information that are disclosed in public? And, you know, sometimes it's not what we see, things are what they seem, but smoke and mirrors and all this. Yeah, it does happen, I'm sure. All the time? I don't think so. Sometimes some unbelievable story really legitimately happens, like you see here. Happen a lot? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure the frequency. But generally, weird, strange things do occur. Every weird, strange thing is not some conspiratorial thing, right? So I do watch conspiracy theory videos, and I watch the regular media, and I just look at everything. I look at all types of information. It doesn't matter what side, where they're at, you know, how unbelievable or believable they are. It doesn't really matter. I look at a lot of different information from different sources, so I get a clear picture of the world. Now, is there a conspiracy? Yes. Is there facts in the news? Yes. It's a blend of everything. But you can't, you know, blanket statement for any group or thing that's all messed up. It's just not that way. You have to objectively look at things and try to figure things out for yourself by getting information. And if there's a lot of intersection, that's what the truth is. I've said that many times. But I will say this, so like in this particular scenario, some unbelievable thing really happened where, you know, the candidate had passed away. Like, and just know that no one would believe it. Now, I know if that happened in the real world, the similar situation, oh yeah, they'd be like JFK, and oh my gosh, this and that. Really just what's happening. So what I'm trying to say is that if you were not in the place where it happens, whatever that may be, and you may hear things, it could be the micro to the macro, it could be your own world, your job, it could be, you know, outside of work, it could be things you see in the news. It doesn't matter whether your community, some other community. Know that, and you know, if you're not there, you know, you can't be 100% sure what happened. So if you're that concerned about whatever you're looking at, and just do research and try to come up with the best thing you can. Don't assume because something seems a certain way, someone paints a certain way. It is that. So as we look at things that we weren't actually at, it's easy to go ahead and paint a certain narrative or belief or thought on what we're looking at. Very easy. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm doing this podcast all the time. We all do this. But you can't be 100% that's the accurate interpretation of what we're seeing because you were not in the space. And to go deeper, even if you were in the space, you don't know either. I mean, even if you're in the space, people give you a different narrative based on that. If you ever seen the show Roshaman or the movie Roshaman from like the 50s about sea samurais, it's exactly that. Or Vantage Point. It's like, you know, different human beings see the same thing, get different interpretation, whether it's in person or on the internet. Right? So I'm just trying to say that basically as you navigate the timeline, where AI is getting sophisticated, more powerful and interesting, and where the lines of reality and fiction are blurred, we have to be very critical. We read, see, and intake. It's to be very objective. It is very easy to be duped and manipulated in the space we live in. It's a very complex information space. You know, it's getting very hard, very complex. But if you listen to this podcast, I know that we do like to think critically and we don't make rash judgments. And we'll do okay because we're working on improving our minds and bodies so we can navigate this complex information space. This show, Slow Horses, is absolutely phenomenal. I know you love it. Jackson Lamb is one of my favorite characters on TV. Played wonderfully by Gary Oldman. I mean, I just got lost in his performance. He's so good at it. Gary Oldman's portrayal is so good at it. It's through the screen. And just acting in general is a very powerful medium that captivates you and draws you in, and the stories get told through language, dance, movie. It is great. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Slow Horses is absolutely magnificent. I highly recommend you check it out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Phenomenal. It's one of the best spy shows I've ever seen. It's just a good show in general. So go over to Apple TV, check it out. You will love it. And this concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see. Live life to the fullest. Ernest Hemingway. Till next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks.